Hello everybody, welcome to another great episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John. Do I have? Yeah, okay. Thought I heard something back there. And it is, my dog's running around in here. Today we are doing, well first of all, if you're new here, alright, I do everything that has anything to do with alcohol, and I do my famous Sunday morning coffee review. The first comment is always pinned, it's always mine, it's always got a link to whatever I'm reviewing. In this case, French red wine. Look at the label on this, 2019 Beaujolais Special Selection. I think it's a nice label, right? Makes a nice presentation, makes a nice gift, makes something nice to bring to somebody's house. This is from Jean-Claude Debon. It is grown, it's from Beaujolais, France. It is 100% Gamay grape. Gamay. Similar, in my opinion, to Pinot Noir. A little darker in color, a little more acidic, a little more maybe sourish, and maybe a touch more tannins, but softer than like Cabernet or Merlot or any of those blends. Very nice, Gamay usually is, and I know a little bit about this one because I've gotten into it, and actually I want to go ahead and review this before it disappears. So, shall we? Always like to show the color, right? What do you think of that? What do you think of it? It's a medium red. Yeah, turning a little bit toward maroon. Oh, I smell it from here. The other thing that's the difference, just reminds me between this and, although, you know, I said this is a little more structured, now that I think about it, some Pinot Noirs can be a little more structured. They're the ones I like. I don't like the ones that are so soft that it's like drinking, you know, water. So it's kind of similar. When I think of this, people who like Pinot, you could steer them to this, try something different, and vice versa. Most people who like Pinot or like this have had Pinot, but people who've had Pinot may not have had a Beaujolais. And this is different from the Beaujolais Nouveau, all right? It's usually a little more floral, too, than, because now that I'm smelling it, I remember it is a little more floral than Pinot Noir. Now, these rules aren't in stone, okay? Things vary. Might get a little minerality. You know, it's good. But it can be good wine, so. And speaking of floral, and it's very floral, beautiful, beautiful floral. I'm not going to sit here and name flowers. I mean, it's just got a floral scent to it. And when you get off this, of course, this is developing. You know, you see it's half emptied. I put a rough pour. I aerated it through an aerator last night when I drank it, but now it's been opened for 24 hours. It's opened up. It's softened. I don't get as much sour cherry smell as I had gotten before now, and this is the first time, obviously, since, you know what I am getting? A candied apple. The candied apple, that red candy that goes over the apple. And I'm getting a strong cherry, little sour cherry, but not, smell-wise, a big sour cherry. And just, you know, I get raspberries. I mean, I get distinct, when I was tasting it last night, I got distinct raspberry. Usually I just say a fruit, could be raspberry, could be blackberry, you're in the ballpark, but it was distinctly raspberry with the cherry. I wasn't getting the candied apple that I'm getting right now. Oh, the floral was there. It's good smell. Man, all right, well, it's good. Right. And that's why I had to do it now, because it's not going to last. And nothing's worse than opening a bottle of wine, finish it, and I didn't get to review it. It's kind of a pain, always having to review. I don't have to, but I like to review everything that I drink now when I'm at home. And so I always have to try and do that. By the way, welcome to the Sippin' Den. This is still under construction. I'm getting done with it. As soon as I finish it, I have a wine section over here where I'll be shooting my wine videos. This is a generic section. I have all my liquors over here, all right? And then I've got a pool table and some barrels throughout, mirrors and different things. it's shaping up. It's looking really good. I'm sitting at a beautiful bar. I'll do a whole tour of it. Just give me some time. I got a little bit. I've done a lot, but I've got a lot more to do. It's good enough now to shoot like this, but as far as a tour for y'all, you just gonna have to wait a little longer. But I'm looking around. I'm getting excited. It looks good. I can't wait to have parties and stuff down here. Anyway, let's get on with it. Just my acclimation sip. Just my acclimation sip. Should never judge anything on the first sip. Nothing. Be judging something. Third, second, but not the first, right? Especially if you've been drinking something else. In this case, I have not, but that's a good way to coat the tongue, get rid of whatever it is you just drank, and then maybe do it again, and by the third one, now you're all in on what you're doing. Anyway, it's a little tip, really. And judges do not, I don't care if it's coffee, liquor, whatever it is, usually the third sip is when they start thinking about the flavor and actually judging it. So, all right, now this is the third sip. Now we will get into breaking it down. Light-bodied, meaning it doesn't feel heavy like cream or whole milk. A little thinner than that. Okay. It's got a nice balance. I'm gonna tell you why. It's got acidity, and the acidity is not as much as it was. It's calmed down. When I first opened it, it was, I wouldn't even say medium plus. I would just say high. The tannins were medium, so it was a little out of balance. The fruit was there. It was close enough. Now, when I paired it with some cheese last night, it was beautiful. The fat from the cheese killed the tannin. The acid, was cutting through that fat, and it just made it just. And then I had that on some salted crackers. Of course, any acidity, bitterness or anything that was in there, just the salt just killed that. So it was very pleasant. Most wines are made for food. And I usually tell you if it's a sipper or you need food with it. But most wines are made, not all, there's a lot now that are. But in general, wine is made to pair with food, and there's nothing better. It really isn't. So anyway, so now the acid has calmed down. Even the tannins have, because now it's aerated, right? It's softened up. And it's really balanced between the fruit, which we'll get in here in a second, and the acidity and the tannins. It's still an easy drinking soft wine. It's not a big powerhouse. It's going to pucker you up and dry you out like you bit into a tea bag or something where it just boom. It's so I would call it soft. Now, if you get this, yeah, aerate it. Put it in the decanter if you have an aerator, which I'm looking because I have one around here. Here's one here. This is a cool one. So this is a Roman soldier head I like. Right? It's an aerator. It aerates. It goes through. It spins it around and aerates it. But if you don't have one, that's fine. Even if you do a rough pour into a decanter if you have a decanter. I'm looking. I got a decanter around somewhere. And let it sit. A rough pour in that decanter, or let it go down the side and fan out into that decanter. Leave it at least an hour before dinner. It gives a big surface area. Because if you don't have that, at least do. Open it up, which ain't giving it much, right? It's only giving it a little bit of the neck. It's still better than nothing. But when you pour it, do a rough pour. You know what I'm saying? Come up a little bit and just let it splash around. Get those bubbles going like that. As early as you can. It's going to soften up the tannins and help blend everything together. Anyway. If you're not thinking about this wine, it's a good one just to have with any meal. There it goes with anything. I always say that because if you drink soda with something, and this is going to be better than soda. So if you're drinking, all right. So if you're drinking soda with fish, red wine with fish, I'd rather have this with fish than. But anything with a little fat in it because it'll help. But this isn't a big tannin bomb. This is kind of a softer wine. More balanced with the tannin and the acidity and the fruit. But anyway, the fruit I'm getting now I am getting some tart cherry. I'm getting, I don't like to name fruits unless they really pop out. And last night the raspberry was really popping out. Now I'll just say you may get, and you'd be in the ballpark, raspberry, blackberry, blueberry. You're going to get some type of fruit on here. It's kind of fruit forward. It's balanced and it's got the nice fruit in it. You might get strawberry. I'm getting a lot of tart cherry. And Pinot Noir always, not always, a lot of times we'll have the strawberry. This give me more of the raspberry. And I know the big difference because I've grown raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, and every damn thing out my backyard. Yeah, so I'm very familiar with the fruits. That candy apple is slight, not as strong as the smell, but I'm getting that candied taste. It's got a kiss of minerality. What do I mean by minerality? Best way I could say it, and you wonder how I know, because how do you know, have you ever taken minerals? Have you ever taken supplements mixed in water and you get that mineral taste to it, you know, where you have zinc, magnesium, calcium, all like that? If you can imagine licking slate or a stone, I don't know who the hell's done that, besides weirdos like me, to get the flavor of the wine. But if you could just imagine those type of things, that's what I mean by that slate minerality to it. It's just another level of complexity. So I like it. I think it's good. And obviously that's what I got left, right? Yeah, I'm going to finish it up. Thanks for being here. And as always, everybody, I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.